Okay, we ran off a little bit of time here. I was talking to a friend on the phone and didn't realize that he was waiting on me. Um, but we came back and again we have our jacked up hand here. Uh, this isn't actually too terrible of a start. We'll have this glider down probably with enough artifacts to give it metalcraft. We'll follow that up with bonds. We've got Lumigrid. Later on, we get this Imperium. Uh, so an early Festermite is definitely suggesting, and black and green is suggesting that he's going to go infect here. Um, not the worst. Okay, so this bear is really gross. Okay, so no attack. That's not too bad. So do we want to put the pinions on? I guess we should have left the blue up if we weren't. But we get the pinion down and we'll attack with the glider. And I think that we'll just go ahead and attach the we'll attach the pinions to the mirror, because first strike on that mirror is going to be really strong as a defensive card. But yeah, had I tapped correctly, I wouldn't have tapped that blue down and maybe left up the plague mirror as the defensive card there. But using the mana to get the pinions down, we don't know for sure if the Steel Sabotage is going to be useful to us as a counterspell that turn. So I think it's alright just to let that go. Okay, so the Fiend comes down as a 5/5. The Carapace comes down. Those are both really bad things for us. The Replica is nice and strong. So, huh. Having that Carapace bounce is not going to be too bad. But right now, I think we just get the Replica down. We can let that Replica wind down on the Infect guys. Take some damage from the Fiend. Get some more damage in here from the Glider. And we'll be taking some Festermite damage here, of course. So, we can block the Festermite. He'll get 3 damage in. He'll gain 3 life. He'll kind of set us back. We'll take 5 from the Fiend here. Alternatively, we can double block the Festermite and the Replica. The Replica will be able to block the Cisbearer next turn. It'll get rid of this Festermite. It'll force him to reuse the Carapace next turn if he wants to get value out of it. And then we can chump the Cisbearer, we can chump the Fiend, we can bounce, we can bonds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just to kill this Festermite. Thought that was going to kill it. Why didn't that kill it? Oh, because... Okay, well, that was awful. Clearly awful. Great. Vector Asp. We don't even have enough. There's a lot of things I'm doing wrong in this game. So definitely playing incorrectly here. Um, Sacrificed a creature when I didn't have to. All sorts of bad things going on here. I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to block this Pestermite, take another 7. He won't get the card draw. We'll get this, not the card draw, but he won't get the life. I'm going to sound like I'm much more preoccupied than I have been. Um, that is absolutely true. For some reason, I can't seem to focus on this game. I've got a peanut butter sandwich in front of me. That is probably what's causing it. So I'm going to go ahead and move that to the side. I mean, we are land light. We did keep a kind of a sketchy hand, but with this deck and its 80 card state, sketchy hands might just be the best way to win. Okay, so Turn the Tide is kind of interesting here. Not that great though. We're at 8. We're at 5 damage. Attacking with the glider, I don't think it's really going to be that useful. Until we can get that. Um, so I'm just going to put the bladed pinions on the glider. Probably chump with the vector asp here. Bounce the carapace to kill the Flestermite. Really didn't do a lot this game, unfortunately. Didn't draw enough mana. The mana that we did have, we sacrificed it unnecessarily. Been tapping our mana wrong all over the place. Just not very good all over in general. Okay, so block here. We'll block here. We'll bounce this carapace to kill this Flestermite. Big pump. This is going to be huge if he tries to pump this Flestermite. Huge. Oh, wow. Wow, that was big for us. So huge. Prevented us from losing the game here. He does get enough mana to cast the Flestermite again, or the Carapace, but we just got a nice, well, kind of just an even trade, really. But if we get a land down and get these bonds on, we can actually swing for 2 and start getting some damage on. Okay, so get a land. Yes. Now we don't have the Metalcraft anymore, but it doesn't matter because he's got bladed pinions on. And the Bonds of Quicksilver is going to be really helpful here. Really just saving our asses. We'll see whatever else kind of guys he can get out. They're going to be made pretty scary by this Carapace, so definitely we can get one-shotted by that. And Assist Bearer. So not good news for us. Okay, Core Prowler. Uh, if he puts it on the Assist Bearer and attacks with both, we're not going to really be able to do anything without this turn the tide. Even then, we won't have. So we're going to be chumping this turn anyway. Do we keep up the aggression and chump and then see what happens next turn with turn the tide? I think we're kind of in a bad situation here. We have been in the whole game, but I think we have to go ahead and we're going to have to chump regardless, but this way at least we don't take that extra damage. I'm not really sure where we can draw though. Plated Imperium is just not very good against Infect. And we see that we did snipe some Infect cards from our opponents, which is pretty good. But it is not going to help us out in this game one. At this point, because we screwed up on our initial game, I'm just kind of glad to be in the finals. We are eating actually a lot of time with this game too. So that's kind of interesting. He's probably wondering what the hell's going on with my deck. Uh, it's possible that he's not equipping his Carapace, so we can actually get no attacks. That helps us a lot. So he's got his full mana up. Doesn't use the Carapace. I think Turn the Tide is definitely part of his plan here, but I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work. Um, but again, here we'll just hold him with Turn the Tide. There's no need for us to attack. He's at such high life that we really just need to be careful. We can get this Gargoyle down, then we can be a lot more safe with our attack potentials. We can use chump blocking more. Looks like we're just going to get something removed here. Slice and Twain on the Bonds of Quicksilver. Alright, that sucks. What that's going to allow him to do is be lethal with just about everything. Well, we can't really do anything about that. And I don't think that we're going to be able to last long enough to get the Plated Imperium down, but so we'll try to cast Turn the Tide and see if that screws with his combat in the future games. So something big. Enslave. Wow. That is so brutal for us. Because now we lose. We just, no, actually we have to turn the tide. So we'll turn the tide. Confuse the hell out of them. We'll take 6 damage. No, we'll go ahead and just jump. Because that will kill us in 2 turns regardless. I mean, we're in bad shape. That doesn't help us, and we'll go ahead and concede this game. Don't see getting any information, and I don't want to give him any more than we already have. Of course, we've not given him that much because he doesn't really know what's in our real deck. We got a lot of terrible cards. Do I want to have this Tangle Cord in there? Seems pretty good against Infect. Plague Mirror, Replica, Palladium Mirror, Sickle Super. That guy's not very good. Soul Eater's not that great. Chrome Steed, Pork Crawler's not that great, especially since he can steal it. 'Grafted, Monstrosity. Plate Imperium seems awful, since it doesn't really save us from dying. And most of the time, we'll get rid of these off-color cards for sure. Dementia Bat, Servant probably can go. What it sabotages, Missile Misstep, Mutation, Quicksilver. Although Quicksilver is not that bad. Um, so I think that this should be an okay build. And we will include a little bit more. 17.6. Okay. So we lost the game, our first game 1 there. Um, at the very least, this is a good early defensive hand. We'll get that Throat Seeker out early, and hopefully keep any major rushes at bay. And hopefully, it's a land-heavy hand, but 2 creatures accelerating into a fat creature that can, if we get some other kind of infect down, we can actually take a game pretty quick with those Throat Seekers. With that Throat Seeker, I should say. So if not, we do have a Wing Splicer. That's a pretty good alternative to the Throat Seeker. Or if something happens to this mirror. Now, I would definitely block the Flestermite here, provided he doesn't do any kind of pumping of it. Okay, there's a Nim. No attack with the Flestermite, I would imagine. Because I can still use the mana, which is definitely what the mirror is for. Okay, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, get the Splicer down, get our 3/3 Flyer down. That can successfully block both of those guys. We can get the Chrome Steed down instead, which cannot successfully block. So we'll get the Splicer down. We'll have 2 blue up. Oops. No, we won't have 2 blue up. We'll have 1 blue and 1 white. That'll still let us have still Sabotage up. And we're still able to prevent any kind of attack, providing that he doesn't drop equipment, and it's going to be hard for him to drop equipment with us having still Sabotage. Okay. I should have countered that. I don't know why I did it. I might be thinking it would be better to bounce it, which might be the case. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and attack here with the Golem. No reason not to, because we have a nice big defensive Throat Seeker with still Sabotage backup in case something scary comes down with that harness. Okay, Blight Widow. That's really annoying to deal with the Golem. So with the Chrome Steed down, and now we're just kind of sitting back and staring at each other. The Throat Seeker's chained back, of course. I'm wondering if not countering with the Still Sabotage, which I've done a couple times this draft, so I'm not really used to playing that card. That I'm not so terribly concerned about, but I will remove it just because him having more effect is just not good for me. And bouncing with the Strider harness isn't really that critical right now. So I will be able to attack with the Steed here for profit. Oh, and there's a Flesh Eater Imp, and that guy is so big. And he will help me get my Throat Seeder Flesh Eater Imp through. So we go ahead and attack with the Steed. Since it's going to lose some value here soon enough. Oh, and he's got some sort of... Okay. That's going to bring our Steed down to 0. Or sorry, 1-1. That is okay, though, because we're going to get the Imp here. It's going to make that Blight Widow probably... Well, we should have known something was up whenever he didn't equip with the Strider Harness. That's for sure. But this Imp is definitely a threat to him. And, yeah. Because he knows once this Imp comes, then this Throat Seeker's going to be able to attack. Okay, so we just hold back here, because we can't really do much. Definitely the Harness is a lot more scary than that 2-1 would have been, so we countered the wrong spell. Okay, so coming up the ground a little bit more. Okay. Now, what's interesting here is that the Throat Seeker, or the Flesh Eater, will actually survive. No, it won't, because it'll be a slow 2-4 again. I'll definitely keep that Strider Harness on the Blight Widow if we do this attack. Or sorry, if we just Pith Driller and knock that Blight Widow down. I think that's the play. We also have, I think, some other ways to help deal with it. But for right now, what this is going to do is to make sure that Harness stays right there. Give us somewhat of a tactical advantage. Or not advantage, but at least keep that Blight Widow from being too powerful. And from that Harness from affecting the board too much. But not countering that Harness is definitely coming to bite me back. Because that Blight Widow would definitely not be as scary as a 1-3. And the Driller added to the defense, so... Oh, and a Sickle Slicer comes, and that is going to be key for us. We'll go ahead and sacrifice it, the germ to it. And we'll equip the Sickle Slicer to it. You cannot ignore this. And it brings it back down to a 2-2 if he does block, which is annoying, but it definitely gets that Blight Widow out of the way. Oh no, we're going to lose the Sickle Slicer here. Okay, so our guy gets protection from Artifact. We're going to lose the Sickle Slicer. That's going to bring it down to a 3-3. We can go ahead and sacrifice the Chrome Steed in order to give it +1/+1 in order to take that Blight Widow down. So that one toughness, 1 power, 1 toughness reduction really helps here. We're still going to lose our Flesh Eater Imp, but that's okay. We have the Sickle Slicer and the Golem, and now his we still have the Throat Seeker and the Pith Driller and the Palladium Mirror back on defense. We don't want to use that Splicer on defense, obviously, but we're at 20 life. We haven't taken any poison on yet. And now we have the Golem, which is a serious threat in the sky. It might have been better for us to equip the Golem and attack there. More power to take down that Blight Widow. Um, Morbid Plunder. That is brutal. So he gets the digester that we countered that wasn't really doing anything, and he also gets his Blight Widow back. So we need to get some damage in here while we can. I mean, it's not the end of the world because it's still going to be a decent sized flyer, but having this thing get taken down some by this Blight Widow is going to be really annoying. It's going to become a 2/2 flyer, which is pretty much just going to be all Sickle Slicer. But it does at the very least limit his options for the next turn. And it's still going to be a chump block because he's not going to be able to kill it. So we're still going to have, depending whether or not he's going to get that Blight Widow activated. No, he does not choose to activate the Blight Widow. That makes me a little bit nervous, but and again, we are not seeing any cards but land. Okay. Pump. Another pro artifact. Just going to give it 1/1. That's going to make it to where it cannot attack in the air effectively again. We can't equip it back to that. We might as well equip it to something. So let's get it on this driller. But those Telgelads are just killing us. Okay, equip on that. So we can't really profitably attack here, so we're just going to have to sit back, hope to draw some good stuff. That's a gargoyle. That's a nice draw. That's going to allow us to two-hit our opponent, provided, of course, he's going to block with the Blight Widow, probably on the first go-around. He does have 5 cards in hand, so he Slice and Twain on the Lumigrid Gargoyle really sucks. And he is just getting all sorts of card advantage. Still able to contain him pretty well with this Throat Seeker / Driller. Oh, and there goes our equipment. So his fistful of cards is really doing us in here because we just cannot get anything going against him. Of course, he's not really attacking us either. We only have 6 minutes left. He did win the first game, so we're going to have to play quick here. Hopefully be able to turn this mana into something. S Monstrosity, not bad, but not going to really help us. Although it can attack profitably, it's probably not going to do so very well. Probably just taking out, I don't know, Scourge Servant, something like that. Nothing really all that great. So it looks like we are going to lose the second game, or we're definitely going to lose this round because I don't think we're going to have enough time in this to win a third game if it doesn't go that far. So again, he's got 6 toughness. He's got everything on our side checked. So really all he has to do is run us out of time. There's that digester that he got back. Second digester. Not looking great for us. Angelic Blessing might actually be pretty strong, but that's definitely not going to help us right now. So we'll just hold on to that. Keep this game going. Again, much to our opponent's advantage here. What we're really kind of hoping to see is that he makes a mistake. But he's been playing tight so far. He really hasn't had many mistakes befall him. So as far as I can tell, he's just been playing really tight. It's just that we've been pretty good at locking him down. It's just right now we don't have. That Prowler is really annoying because when it dies, Golem's going to die. Our Monstrosity's getting a little smaller. If we have any, he's just got so many more cards than we do because he's drawing. Well, he's been getting these Tel Jalaj, weakening our cards. He's sliced and twain. He Morbid Plundered. He got 2 cards back from that. We haven't been really effective with the cards that we do have. So here's the attack. Do we go chained? I think that probably is the way to go here. It weakens our chain, but it definitely kills his guy off. We don't want to take any. Okay, so he's going to use the mutagenic growth and 2 damage to actually go ahead and take the chain down, which is fine. Gets that card out of the way. We could have blessing there. Probably should have. In fact, that was kind of stupid of us for not, because that guy is really, really strong. Get this wall down. This will help further stymie any kind of, and it also makes a nice blocker for the core brawler without killing it. So yeah, again, kind of back where we started. Don't want to have 6 because we want to have that blessing up. Okay, so it's just a 2/2 right now. Not bad. Another land. Um, and again, we can't really attack through this. Now, one thing to do might be just to block with the Wing Splicer and the Golem, since the Golem's going to die anyway, and the Wing Splicer is not really that good if you're not giving this Golem flying. So that might actually be the play to make here. He doesn't move the Spider Harness, which, given that he's got plenty of mana now, he probably would want to go ahead and do that. I don't want to give up this Apostle's Blessing just yet. And I definitely should have double blocked that before I got the Tangle Core. Okay, so he'll enslave that. Hopefully that gives him some sense that he can attack with more guys than he would be comfortable with normally. And I can counter swing here. So a big swing from him. We're going to be giving him Pro Black. Oh God, I can't because it's not my creature. Alright, so I just really screwed the pooch on that. That was terrible. So I deserve to lose this round for sure. I should have done that in response to the enslave instead of after he had the enslave, because now I can't because it's not my creature, and that is just a bad mistake, and one that is certainly going to cost me this game. Uh, we'll go ahead and try to play this out to see how it goes. So I think our blockers here are going to be the Wing Splicers and the Golem on these guys, but he's just got so much infect here. I really feel stupid for the way that went down. We'll trade here. Go ahead and kill this thing here since it's going to kill us anyway, or need killing anyway. And then we'll have this guy block here. But that went very poorly. And we'll go ahead and save the Pith Driller from getting any infect on it. What the heck is it blocking? Yes, protection from artifacts. And that was just, I mean, we probably weren't going to win this game anyway, but that just ended up being really disastrous for us. Really bad. So the Wild Tangle Core gets one counter on it, we get one counter on it. That's probably not too bad considering our situation. Okay, so he's got a ton of infect, so the Enslave's probably not going to help anyway. Oh, that was just brutal. We did get 4 packs though, so not a bad draft. We got a couple of mythics, a couple of decent value cards too. So I just feel bad that I actually played pretty well in the first 2 rounds. My opponents didn't play very, or they actually had some mana troubles and things like that. But just really bad sloppy play in this last round, so I apologize for that. But we did get our 4 packs. We got a couple of value cards out of it. So overall, a successful draft, especially after we really didn't pay attention and had those screwed up first games. So we'll see you next time, and thanks for